Dry cell ones are about like that, and you should stand about that tall.
Yeah, there's nothing like that in here. You find D batteries. You find packs of D batteries in
Just
here.
the D ones? Okay. So let's say 2.
Are there any cheaper flashlights?
Yeah, there's like little cute ones that they're like this big and stuff. They're like
Grab a
for
store
kids and stuff.
bag, and I'm literally going to take all of them and for whatever batteries she doesn't take, fresh batteries, drop them in there. That way, we're probably gonna be taking that ground tunnel. We've got very good flashlights, but we can light our path.
You find a few of the sport backpacks. The string draw bags. Really cheap looking, but they'll do your job. You pack one with a bunch of cheap flashlights after putting fresh batteries in them. Fresh battery, all the rest of the batteries in another probably.
Which she can probably take, or
No,
have.
he can.
Here,
He's
I'm
the only one
gonna
without
find
a
one of the little
backpack.
bungee things on his vest, and I just hook it to that. Just there you go.
All right. I got a
All right,
backpack.
looks like we're going downstairs. Hold on to your girdle, Myrtle. This could get ugly.
Ooh.
As you guys are gonna end up going down the stairs there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
Do
we want to do that before we check the other office?
I don't think we should spend any more time here than we absolutely need to. We've already rifled around. He's tried kicking in a door, and I'm surprised things haven't started battering down the front door.
We still haven't
Okay.
kicked in that door yet, guys. We should go back and do that.
I would prefer not to.
I'm gonna roll perception to see if I can find a hat.
You don't need a perception for that. There's boxes with hats and
There's
caps
a
and
whole
stuff.
box of shitty Tommy Bahamas hats.
Awesome. Why would you wanna hide that?
You're going full blown
What
tourist.
about tape?
You like duct tape
What are you trying to do?
So I wanna get one of the hats
and tape a
and tape
flashlight?
a flashlight to the side.
You want to take some of the smaller flashlights that you
Yeah.
found?
Mhm.
Okay, roll me the improv creation.
That's a 6.
21.
Yeah, he's just, before you guys go, he's like, hold on a minute. And he finds a couple of, really touristy looking hats. One says, beer, lime, and sunshine. And one of them's just like, in order to fish, because that's a dish. And little, really shitty ones like that. And he's just kind of like, okay, whatever. And you find duct tape, and you're kind of like, okay. So you manage and put together, 2 flashlights, 1 flashlight, and you manage to kind of hook them up in a way where if you turn on one, that you'll turn on the other 3. Or the other 2. So he puts together 4 equivalent, and there's still plenty of little flashlights left. He creates 4 headlamps, essentially.
Okay, so I take one from him and put it on.
Got some of these. We might need them.
I have to adjust the hat a few times.
Actually, give him one. We'll have him go first, and I'll take one. I'll bring up the rear. I want you guys in the middle. Something tells me you're soft and squishy.
Oh.
It's her female form.
Excuse me.
You sound like you actually have experience with the female form. That's shocking.
Yeah. I've slapped a few coochies around.
Okay. So, alright, so
Well then.
Yeah.
you guys go ahead, and you guys start heading downstairs with your headlamp.
Either she's needs to breathe or she's hot and bothered. I can't tell.
I have that effect.
No, it's when you laugh so hard that you're...
Every now and then my bassy voice causes them to boil over like a pot of macaroni.
Oh, God.
And
So
this
you
is
guys-
why
Your
he's still single.
illustration.
I have a boyfriend.
It's the Brazilian boyfriend joke.
Mm-hmm.
So, you go ahead and you manage to, you guys all turn on your headlamps, you guys start heading downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
You guys walk downstairs very carefully, you guys don't make any noise, but when you guys get to the bottom, you look around finally, when the lamps, hit everything, it's all concrete and cinder block down here. So even you guys know you guys are stepping on bare concrete and the walls are made of dense cinder block.
I've got the flashlight tucked. I reach the good one. I reach into the little bag, pop out one of the shitty ones, click, and I set it on something so that it kind of just illuminates the area. It's not going to be all that great. It won't
You,
last forever, but it'll give it if we need to retreat, it'll give us a fucking guide to go back.
Yeah, you do notice that you managed to just kind of stake it somewhere just enough. It gives you enough illumination there.
So this is a hallway then.
what it looks like so far, because it's at the bottom of the staircase, he finds a place to just kind of set the flashlight. Looking around, I want you guys to give me perception rolls.
All right.
Yeah, because I was about to ask to check for something. Let's see.
24.
23.
4.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I wanted to see where it landed on after I bumped
I
it.
thought you were gonna say I was gonna swallow it. Sweet.
Oh, at least I'll get it back later. Oh, you
And it might have some of my divine power associated with
He
it.
hoards his shit. You don't know that.
You know, you'll be rolling 20, 20, 20. I can't roll anything under 20.
24.
It's weighted. Okay.
What did you get?
What'd you roll?
10.
We were both rolling very
Okay, so you guys.
MVPs.
These two roll really good out there. I think it's something about this stupid.
They definitely cursed.
Did you try rolling in the lid?
Yeah, it didn't help because it needed to be longer.
Oh, try rolling on this part then.
Okay.
But just kind of like do this number. And
And like drop it.
So what happens, Nick?
Mm-hmm.
So you guys looking around, the ones that rolled 10,
Mm-hmm.
or the ones that have a total of 10, you guys notice that it's pretty big down here, and you don't smell anything kind of funky except for maybe some musk. So probably not used very often. Kind of cool and damp down here. You guys don't smell anything malicious though, like rot.
Do we hear anything now that we're downstairs?
You could probably hear some stray water drips here and there. Nothing. It's kind of eerily silent down here. You guys notice that the room or where you could see is stretched from like this wall to this wall twice. So it's a big area down here for something underneath the first floor of the mall.
maintenance.
Do you think this is an access to something?
Yeah, most likely. If we're lucky, it'll take us to the loading dock.
You guys
to get us
notice a
out.
little bit more on that. You guys notice that, you guys can actually smell that fresh air at one point does pass by her every so often, so something does keep opening, or at least the hint of it does.
It has sometime recently.
Are there
And-
any lights on the ceiling or anything?
No. You guys, okay.
No,
If
it's
you're, wait. If you're asking if like there's if there are like actual lights up there but they're not turned on, yes.
Okay,
So-
I was gonna say, 'cause if this ever has to be in use for any reason, it would have to be lit somewhat.
You
They're
guys,
usually
you
lit
guys also notice
24/7.
that going down the hall, like you could see it. You guys can notice that there's actually like doorways here and there along the path. You don't know what they're to, but just from what the look of it, that's what they are. They're doorways.
No signs or anything? No
Nothing
numbers
that
on
you
the
notice
doors
at the
or
moment.
the walls?
You notice a very cool breeze, in the mist of the air, like heading towards you. That's from your finger.
We should go that way. The air's moving. That might be our best chance at an exit. Stay close. Trust your senses. If you smell something rotten, that's probably bad news for us.
I take a sip of my whiskey and I pull out my axe.
Please don't kick anything in.
As far as guns go, remember, absolute last resort. Save the last one for yourself.
Only be kicking teeth in.
By the way, how are you carrying the shotgun? Did you find a holster or something to carry? Oh yeah, you did find the gun holster on the back. So yeah, you feel like there is a tactical place to put your shotgun on your back.
Oh, so I have a shotgun and a sidearm too,
Yeah.
and I'm carrying my spear. All right.
All right.
Don't stop really suddenly, Coach. I might accidentally pierce you
Oh,
if you do.
Save it
My
for later,
life.
sweetheart. All right, let's keep moving forward.
All
I'll
right.
take point. As I've
Okay.
been.
Okay. So Coach takes point. Coach, I want me to roll perception.
Damn right.
Roll me for copy checks.
Okay, that's a nat 1, which is a 19.
Like how? Okay, let's before we proceed further, I think we should define like the nat 1s and the nat 20s.
Right now, like unless it's absolutely crucial, it just gives you more information on the higher you go. So.
Okay.
That's how I'm playing it out because everyone's going to be rolling differently. It's going to be a slightly different
So
outcome.
it is a 19 still.
Yeah, it is a
Okay.
19 still. So you don't fall on your face, so you're good.
I
This is
didn't
not
close
D&D.
my eyes when I was looking for things, right? Just to see if I could do it.
Right, right. You don't do that. So. But you do. So you scout up ahead a little bit, and you actually get to see what the doors were. You look at when you get to each doorway, and they're actually shutters that are locked down with a motor and everything. Like, so you could see that from your headlamps. You know, so you don't know if they were the loading docks, but there's shutters there. At least in the first area, and the second area too. When you get to the third one, you notice there's a bunch of extra wires and pipes and shit coming out of the one doorway, and the other one, it smells a little damp on the other side. So on your left, you see extra pipes and wires coming out. On the other one, it smells a little damper than normal.
You guys think it would make too much noise if we tried to open these shutters?
Possibly.
Yes.
Other than that, it's just wires and dampness,
29 for perception.
which is a really awful combination.
What are you looking for
now that I've said
exactly?
that out loud.
In our case, I'm looking at the shutters and their mechanism. Is it manual? Is it electronic?
So, you know, you see
Well, I mean,
Coach
it's-
go ahead forward, you know, and he's calling back to you. You go ahead and go off to the right in the first doorway, and you kind of look around for a minute, and you're like, huh, let's see. And you can kind of notice, you know, there is, you know, the mechanisms seem to be, like, you know, recently upkept, so there should be no reason why they wouldn't work. How much noise they would make?
That's going to be debatable.
Yeah.
Roll me mechanical mastery.
$17 for that. It's for the skill.
High roller.
16 for the base roll, so
33.
yeah.
Okay. You, personally, you've seen these before, for better or for worse. Yeah, they could be quiet, but you'd have to do it manually. You wouldn't be able to use the auto crank for it. You know that these take a little bit to lift. The mechanical motor is extremely loud with the way they do it. However, manually pulling one of these up isn't too bad. It's a lot quieter, a lot less noise making. You still don't know where you are though exactly, so you don't exactly know
Coach.
where this is going to end
Yeah.
up pulling up.
The chain there,
Yeah.
inner portion, pull down carefully.
All right. And I'll pull down carefully.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my pistol. I'll get down on my knees, and I'm just going to kind of like lean down to the side, and I'm going to aim, and I'm going to stop it once it gets roughly like about almost a foot off the ground, because I want to be able to see on the other side.
I was gonna say, how far do you want it?
Stop there.
Okay. Roll. So are you like really close to the shutter then?
I'm close enough that I can see, but far enough that like if
You can't
someone
see.
decided to try and reach, I'm out of reach.
Got it.
So, like-
Roll me perception.
No, I'm not an idiot.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of horror movies. I know how this goes. Okay. 34. Or, no, 24, excuse me.
So, leaning down, yes, you are at a loading dock. It's one of the smaller loading docks, so you don't know if this is like where they get their product in from. It's a little weird because what you smell is oil and grease. That's not new, but the diesel and the weird smell of the oil tells you that this is not a normal truck. This is Army regulated. That's what you notice about it. That's a little strange for something to be smelling like that, because you know the distinct oil and,
They buy very
Fuel.
specific lubricants for these
and
things.
fuel.
Yeah.
What do you
Does he
see in
hear
there?
anything?
Hmm?
Does he hear anything?
I'm listening to, do I hear any engines idling?
You don't hear anything idling, but what you do hear is you hear in the distance faint groans, faint shooting. Yeah, it's definitely quite a bit of ways. Nothing too close, but
Maybe
from what
he
you could see out there, you might have 200 feet before you run into anything.
That's not good.
Because you can see that there's, a gate out there, and that's roughly about 200 feet. That's the first thing you're going to hit. You just don't know what's on the other side of that fence and everything.
What about vehicles? Are there any vehicles stowed in here currently?
Nothing that you see out there, and nothing in here.
What time of day is it?
You want me to keep lifting?
Get
Hang on, Coach.
5 o'clock at night.
5? Shit. Alright, go ahead and lower it down carefully.
Quietly.
Alright, so...
Roll me a d20.
Fuck.
Okay, that's a 19.
Okay, good. Yeah. So you're just kind of like, and he's really careful because I was just gonna be like, shit, whoops.
Mm-hmm. And,
You're
well,
good.
actually, even if you let go of the chain, it wouldn't go anywhere. It'll stay there.
Well, he lifted up manually, so it would. It was just slammed down, but he's good.
That's not how that works, but it's fine.
So I got...
That's how it works here.
Pick myself up, holster the gun, dust myself off. Okay, we're not
Got
going
two
out that way
canisters.
just yet.
But we knew it's there.
So what'd you see out there?
Yeah.
Well, the army's out there. Not directly, but they're in the middle of some shit.
You
Would
like the U.S. Army's out there?
No, the Puerto Rican Army. Of course it's the U.S. Army.
Where are
Actually,
we?
you guys are just on a resort island. You actually don't know what army is out there. You do know that.
Well, guns.
Yeah,
I mean, if they're not... M16s and AKs sound totally different.
yeah. You can tell that there's army and police force out there. It's probably like an alliance type of thing where, they have people from the U.S., from Russia, where whoever is a part of this whole thing, they are themselves doing, the army and police action here. So they're, there's probably a few different army and military organizations working together.
We should probably try to find a different dock. Because from what I can tell, they've been stowing vehicles here for a while. So we might want to try to find a different dock that's specifically for the loading and unloading of goods. Although where the hell we're going to find that is beyond me. So let's just get the fuck out of here.
So we're just gonna keep moving forward?
Well, no, forward is through there,
Oh, we hit a wall then.
effectively.
Okay.
Well, we can go through that the dock
Shutter.
gate, but there's military and zombies, dead things on the other side.
I mean, did the hallway end when we found these doors, these shutters?
No,
No,
there's more to explore.
Yeah, because the end of the hallway, at least the farthest that you've explored, is the last 3 open doorways, and they were the one that had the wires and pipes and shit coming out of it, and the other one that just smelled really damp.
All right. So which way are we heading?
Should we just keep going forward and
That's what I'm
explore further into
Let's
the
go
tunnel?
that way.
What's that way?
More docks. We're going to try and see if we can find other docks.
So you wanted to search the dock across from you, next door, or catty corner?
next door.
Okay, so you walk across the hall. The rest of you guys follow.
All right.
Um,
I'm gonna pull it up real slow.
yep, same thing. So perception check.
Okay.
16. You know, same setup as before. Draw a gun. Kind of like make sure I'm like 2 arms length distance away from that.
You see, on the other side of this, a white van. Looks like it was a transit van, so there's, probably some seats in there, some open space. Don't know the status of it, you don't know that it's there.
Don't even know if we have keys for it.
I could probably hotwire it.
So could I.
Damn right.
You guys also notice that in the mist, or you notice that in the midst of it, it hasn't been used recently. You don't smell any gas or anything, kind of on the outside, except for maybe some motor oil. That's about it, really, here. You really can't tell what's in the van or anything, but, like I said, probably hasn't been running in a few days.
Do I
Can we see?
smell any dead things? Blood, rot.
You smell some. You smell some rot, but it's probably like, with as faint as you're smelling it, it's not close, but there's probably something around.
Are the outer gates closed?
Actually, from all you see from here is roadway, so probably that from the way it looks, that this van pulled in through the direction. So it's probably like a roadway. What's blocking there is a fence that just closing out the outside.
All right, we have an exit point. Though there might be something on the other side there. I can't tell. But we have a place to go when we need to leave. We should not leave tonight. I'm pretty sure you guys don't want to be on the road in the dark with no streetlights, gunfire, and dead things trying to eat you.
Well, we glow like Christmas trees.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, why don't we lower the door again and put some flashlights here to mark this one as one that we're interested in coming back to?
Sounds like a plan.
Careful. And I'll go ahead and I'll pop, a couple of flashlights on either side, just like set like off onto like the motor locks for the door. They're on. So I mean, if someone sees them, they're gonna be like, "That's weird." And they might take them. Yeah, they might take them. Should grab some chalk.
I mean, I'm sure we can be able to find it. There's like 4 doors, right?
I want
I
I want Nate to roll me a d20.
You keep asking me for the hard jobs, Theo.
I don't even know what the job is.
Uh-oh.
Exactly. That's a 9. Yeah, so 9.
Hey,
You do
we
remember
have
for the
some baking soda?
Mm-hmm.
We can make a paste with some baking soda and some liquid, and just do a sign on the door, like.
Well,
Oh.
Nate remembers that in your line of work that you normally you use chalk to, theorize, probabilities and stuff that you need to make. You have some chalk on you.
Oh, he does. That's easier.
Stray reminder, you're like, oh shit.
Oh, wait, hold on.
It's a good thing you brought your work stuff on vacation with you, huh?
I got some chalk right
He's
here.
one of those academic types that will stick the chalk behind his ear and it'll be there for 3 days and he totally forgot it was there.
Been
My
there.
chalk.
Kind of like sticking.
Has anyone seen my chalk? Anyone? Anyone my chalk? It's about that big, white,
chalk.
can't miss it.
My chalk. My lovely lady chalk.
I think this might help.
Take it and I make a note of sorts, just like a small mark, just
Sure. Okay.
like right next to the motor box, kind of like like a little arrow pointing to it, and a date.
Okay.
Just in case, so if someone sees it, I want them to mistake it as this is a maintenance work order note that's on road and chalk.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Hey,
Okay?
give the chalk back.
To do me a favor and write, "We are Mr. Gay" on it.
I'd shoot you, but it'd be a waste of ammo.
Damn right.
All right, and we need to find a place to hold up for the night. Thinking that we should probably sleep in shits.
So we're going back upstairs or no?
No, we should go further into the storage area. Lucky we can find some furniture to crash on. It's either that or concrete.
Sounds like a plan.
You guys are walking further down the hall.
Mm-hmm.
Damn right.
Okay.
Every so often, click.
What?
The flashlights.
Oh.
The little cheapy
You
flashlights.
guys walk down quite a bit of ways. Because after those 3 doorways, it's a long hallway for a minute. You guys find one door. And it's like a literal door. It's off to the left. And it's just marked employees only.
Is it locked?
I can unlock it.
Yeah,
I have
it
keys,
is.
remember?
It is.
So do I.
Okay, so no, I pull out the keys that I have and roll to see if any of the keys work in the door. So 14, so 20.
I've got 2 keys named Jack Johnson and Tom O'Leary.
You feel that 2 of the keys kind of fit, but these are smaller keys, so they don't fit through all the tumbler locks. These keys are definitely probably meant for like safes and lockboxes and stuff.
Okay.
So, but it's just a regular door lock. There's no deadbolt or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, do you have your room key? Credit card? ID?
I haven't got a damn thing. Why?
I have a.
You remember you have your.
I have an axe.
You do remember that, yes, you have your ID on you.
I have an axe.
Eh.
Here, you take this first.
It's very simple. It's like open sesame.
Yeah, so, yeah, little bit of tweaking and door
You
open.
know, slide down, Jimmy, 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 done.
Jimmy at the Holiday Inn.
You guys notice inside, it's like a break room. There's a couple of couches, small stove,
Gas stove or electric?
electric.
Damn.
So it's not working.
You don't know that. You haven't tried it.
Oh, I thought you
But
Well, the lights down here aren't on. We don't know why.
Oh,
Someone could have turned them off because they should be on.
We got batteries though, right?
you guys also notice that there's a fridge there, and there's a TV. TV's probably not working because, all communications are off. But
I
you don't
hand
know.
her back her card.
I open the fridge and see if it's cold in there.
What was that, Nate?
Nothing.
I open the fridge and see if it's cold in there.
The fridge is actually working, and you do find a couple of beers in there. Nothing else though.
Beer is for the weak.
I close the door, and I move some stuff in front of said door since the door swings in. It's sort of barricaded.
Yeah, you find two coffee tables that pretty long and dense to kind of like pivot in front of the door that if it does open, it's not moving the tables with it.
Not without some extra force.
Right.
We could just put the couch in front of it so whoever's sleeping will know someone's trying to bust in.
Yeah, that's not probably the best idea.
Why not?
Because that person would die first.
Mm.
I mean, if you want to volunteer, we'll let you.
Raise your hand if you don't value your own life. Alright.
By the way, this couch over here, I'm gonna lay down on. I'm kind of tired.
I'll go in, I'll grab a beer, pop it, kill it.
I turn on the TV. Does it at least turn on?
It does.
Alright, we can light up the room then.
Is there is it giving any stations?
Emergency test signals.
Oh, we're not going to be able to sleep if there's emergency test signals.
We could always mute it.
We could mute it. That's a good idea too. See, my
Yeah,
perception.
you guys have no communication. It's just white static actually on the TV. All everything is just moot. It's white static and everything.
My favorite noise in the world.
I'll take
Oh,
first
so when white
watch.
people talk.
They couldn't afford basic fucking
Hmm?
people.
When white people talk, white static.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
so I'm gonna put all of my weapons within reach, but get one of the softer things out of my backpack to use as a pillow and lay down on the couch.
I'll set myself up. I'm gonna, take the gun, unload it, take it apart, check it, put it back together, reload it.
You're obviously doing this with some skill, right?
Oh yeah. This is not the first time he's unloaded and took apart a gun.
I already called this out, so I'm not going to get to you.
What are you doing, Nate?
I think I'll take first watch.
With him?
Oh, you're taking first watch?
Mhm.
Okay.
We're gonna try and get a full 8. Try. At the very least, make it through the night.
Anybody want any whiskey?
I've got tequila. I'm good.
I'll take a sip of my whiskey and crash.
No, I'm good.
So I'm probably gonna sit post myself up by the wall next to the tables by the door.
Who's taking second watch before I pass out? I want to know who's gonna get woken up.
I'll wake him up for second watch.
Sounds good.
All right.
So get some sleep, you drunk fuck.
I'm not that drunk.
You're probably pretty tipsy at this point. You've been sipping at that bottle this entire
I
time.
had 3 sips of whiskey. I'm not drunk.
Yeah, and what did you eat and drink today besides that?
Actually, the fact that he's mostly muscle.
I found a bag of Cheetos. I haven't eaten them
The
yet.
fact that he's mostly muscle, he actually probably doesn't have. He doesn't have a low resistance at all to the alcohol.
So, sit there, got the gun there, go in the bag, pull out a thing of beef jerky,